Ripple spent $2.45 billion in acquisitions in the last 7 months of 2025. And if you're not paying attention right now, you're missing what they're building. It's going to be the biggest financial infrastructure play. These type of acquisitions have happened before. They were for companies like Google or Amazon. By the end of this video, you're going to understand why Ripple is going to be positioned to take over a lot of the financial infrastructure and play the biggest role in the way the world moves moving forward through their acquisitions that they've had with Hidden Road, G Treasury, Rail, and many more. And also, for those that own XRP, why this is important to you. Before we dive into 2025 mega deals that Ripple did, you need to understand Ripple has been systematically building this infrastructure for more than a decade. These weren't just random acquisitions. They were the actual building blocks they needed right after the lawsuit to really propel themselves into position to take full advantage of the Cambrian explosion we're going to see here in 2026 for digital assets. And Ripple was systematically acquiring these technical capabilities and institutional relationships far longer than just this last year, but this last year really cemented them in the position to take full advantage of it. Let's take it back to 2012 when Ripple was actually formed. Obviously, you know, they've grown a lot since then. Their valuation when they first came out was far less than what it is today. The last round that they just had, Citadel and Fortress invest in, was at a $40 billion valuation, $250 per share, which is the same price that they actually had the tender offer at this year also. Let's talk about all the acquisitions that Ripple made. In 2019, they acquired Logos, which was an Icelandic development firm specializing in non-custodial wallet technology, and that gave Ripple the critical infrastructure to secure and have user-controlled digital asset storage. In 2021, they acquired Algrim, which was another Icelandic company, but it brought expertise in cryptocurrency, custody solutions alongside what they had acquired before and added deeper custody capabilities for digital assets and storage. In 2023, you know, they made their landmark acquisition of Medico, was an international custodian, and they had a lot of the broader relationships that Ripple didn't have, and they did that acquisition for $250 million, which was the largest acquisition that they had made at the time. Ripple's also made a prolific amount of investments in strategic infrastructure and initiatives that have been building on the XRPL and other companies over the term that they've been in operation, which have secured them either board seats or positions to help that company navigate to where they need them to be in order to work well with them or set them up for an acquisition later on. Medico was one of these situations for Ripple. Medico itself was a Swiss digital asset custody and tokenization firm. Harmonized platform gave Ripple enterprise-grade custody infrastructure that they could then go to competition with Fireblocks and Copper and some of the other providers in the space. And it brought in relationships with major financial institutions already using their services that Ripple hadn't acquired, been connected to at that point. And last but not least, you guys probably remember this one with the whole, PolySign debacle that took place. Ripple acquired Standard Custody in 2024 after both